Hello everyone, how's everything? You guys are good too? I'm doing good too. Let's get on today's video session. Here we go. Here we go today. We got some Sega's pumping soundtrack from Streets of Rage 3. Here we go. Come on guys. Oh yeah. Check this out. Use a Kishore man. Streets of Rage 3. Sega's Streets of Rage 3. Woo! Anything that I used to make, oh my god, Sega's incredible Gazoosha. Yeah. Check it out. Yu Kishore was Sega's masterpiece. I mean, we know he was responsible for games like Streets of Rage and Shinobi. Incredible. So today we're going to be continuing on the SNK Neo Geo 3. Whoa! You go, whoa, got some new information? Well, kind of new information. I wouldn't say it's like new information really today, but I want to give a bit more what I think. Yeah, because this is my own thing, what I'm thinking of, what can be happening with this system. Okay, first of all, we need to understand SNK has been there for a very long time. I mean, they started all of the work from the arcade cabinets. They are a legendary developer giving us amazing arcade cabinet games. They're responsible for games like, oh, wow, King of Fighters. We just got release of King of Fighters 15 on PC Steam. Yeah, I know that, but please don't let that put you off because SNK is not done yet. So you don't know what can happen. First of all, if we go back in the 1990s, they released a, a system called SNK Neo Geo AES. Now, this system was a cartridge-based system. Then they released a SNK Neo Geo CD. Then they released SNK Neo Geo CD Z. Okay, we're not going to go too much into the SNK systems, what the differences were. All I'm just concerned about the success and failure behind the systems. Yeah, we're going to talk about really about that. Now, in the same era, there was Sega Mega Drive, Super Nintendo, Panasonic 3DO, Atari Jaguar. Yeah, all of these systems were in the same era as the SNK Neo Geo home consoles. Yeah. Now, this might sound really, I don't know, incredible to some people because if we look at from SNK Neo Geo AS, SNK Neo Geo CD, SNK Neo Geo CD Z, Sega Mega Drive, Super Nintendo, Panasonic 3DO, Atari Jaguar. Do you know what was the best-selling console of all of these machines? Super Nintendo. Super Nintendo. Now, Super Nintendo, right, was a great console from Nintendo. I don't really believe that people who buy systems nowadays, they're one of the best. That is not true. Because systems, what they every time they produce, it's the time to release new machines, isn't it? It always happens. They have to release a new system because there's a new hardware. Because of the time, the way that year is. Like, I think it's 2020, 2021, we had a more advanced hardware. But these systems like Nintendo Switch, Sony PlayStation 5, and Microsoft Xbox Series X, they don't own the best games. I don't think they do. Because even people who buy them, there's hardly anything on them. Yeah. So what people do, they will buy mini consoles again. Yeah. Because that's where most majority games are. Or they will buy some older systems that they know has a lot of good games. Because you want entertainment. You don't just want, oh my gosh, there's a new system out on the market, let's go and get it. You'll get it, but there will be nothing on it. Think about that. If you look at Sony PlayStation 5 especially, a brand new system made from Sony, it's it's struggling. It's flipping struggling. Look at the state of it. How many times is Sony gonna keep bragging about it that his system's good? I think they better stop that nonsense. Because I think it's not true what they're talking about. It's a new hardware, blah de blah. And the 8K resolution is not a nonsense as well. Because 8K resolution doesn't exist. The technology we got right now is just 4K. We're not even in 5K. Come on, how many people agree with that? Do we even have a game in 5K? Do we? Well, I haven't seen one. I mean, everything from PC, from Nintendo to Sony, Microsoft, it's all in 4K. Yeah, all 4K stuff. Exactly. Now the PC has RTX. Yeah, which up to 8K, of course. But we can't play any game on 8K because there's no games on 8K. I mean, I would say that the new RTX that Nvidia's produced, you can't do anything with 8K on it. It's pointless. It's absolutely pointless. Now, going back to the 1990s again, uh, considering that uh, it's a legendary company, and we need to know what was going on at that time. This is quite confusing. This is. It's quite confusing. I am kind of confused because people kept keeping on about that thing. Now, the SNK Neo Geo AES was right, a cartridge-based system. Now, the system alone cost £399.99. It's very expensive. Come on, man. A console releasing back in 99, £400 for a system in 1990? Oh my gosh. Blimey. That is quite expensive. Come on, you gotta think how many youngsters can buy that thing. I don't think many youngsters can afford that. I'll be honest with you. And then, not only that, the cartridges. Oh, blimey, the cartridges were really expensive. I mean, if I can remember on top of my head, they were around about from 500, 1,000, 1,500, 2,000 pound per cartridge. Oh no! You gotta understand, a Neo Geo was not a failure because it was not there for a challenge. It was SNK's big problem was it was a very expensive hardware. Yeah, and because of that hardware, their cartridges are really, really expensive. And that's the failure behind the system. The starting point of the SNK home console was terrible. It was terrible. Now, further on the line, Atari Jaguar was one of the worst selling games console in world history. It's the worst system ever when it comes to sales. But I do understand when we talk about Panasonic 3DO, Atari Jaguar, they came in the wrong time. They were released in the wrong era. A wrong era, I'm emphasizing in the wrong years. They came really quickly, yeah? And of that time limit, it was wrong. And the other problem was that it was the price on them. Now, the Panasonic 3D was around about 399 and Atari Jaguar was 199. It's more expensive than Sega Mega Drive and Super Nintendo. Now, Sega Mega Drive, Super Nintendo, they were between like 120 to like 130 pounds, something like that. They were pretty cheap priced. But Sega had a system which is affordable. Sega Mega Drive was really affordable, you see. It wasn't very expensive. Like every day, every week, they kept on releasing games on there. They kept on doing that from Sega and their respected developers. They kept on releasing games, and Sega Mega Drive became a successful system. It was that easy for them. What made Super Nintendo even beat the Sega Mega Drive? I mean, one thing that is really that people should know, Nintendo makes the best games in the world. Yeah. But I think it wasn't just that in Super Nintendo. Super Nintendo released a system which was 16-bit. Sega Mega Drive was 16-bit as well. But some people say Super Nintendo is 16-bit plus. Hey, really? 16-bit plus? If you look at the graphics, they were more clearer and the audio was crystal clear as well. On top of that, the system had a thing called 3D FX. A 3D FX was a thing that creates special effects. It creates special effects. If you remember games like Starwing, one of them, I think it was a launch game or something like that. Starwing was a game where, okay, space combat action game. And when you play the game, you can see these extraordinary explosions either when your own ship dies or the boss battles. Have you seen when you fight the boss and when you defeat it, it actually explodes, poof, and you can see these extraordinary special effects right in front of your eyes, man. Starwing is that incredible game from start to finish. It was a really epic game, by the way. There was like sometimes you can tell if there's FX because some games had in the name Stunt Race FX. See, it's got the word FX in there. I mean, Stunt Race is another epic game using the word FX in there. So that's got 3D FX. So there are some other games. Okay, on top of that, there's not a lot of good games on there. I mean, we know it was responsible for games for like Donkey Kong Country Series 1, 2, and 3, Super Projector, R-Type 3, Cybernator, Hagon. Wow, epic game. There's so many extraordinary games on Super Nintendo. Then you got Street Fighter Turbo, Super Street Fighter Turbo, Dynamite History, something like that. Samurai Showdown, Art of Vying, Killer Instinct. They're all on there. They're all epic games. They're all epic stuff on there. It's really, really good. Now, the other thing is that both the Sega Mega Drive and Super Nintendo were well priced. They kept on releasing games every time. Yeah. And Panasonic 3D, Atari Jaguar, both are the same thing. They were released at the wrong time. They have really high price tags. Okay? And that's why they could not succeed. That's the problem of this. Now, with SNK system, right? What was going on? They kept on releasing these home consoles. Obviously, the first system was far too expensive to own anyway. Then they're going to release the SNK Neo Geo CD. Okay, it was reasonably priced and all that. I think it was. I think this machine was £299 on that, £100 cheaper, and the CDs were like 49.99 and 59.99. But they released it too late. Yeah, it wasn't only about late. This system had one more problem. The SNK Neo Geo CD, right? Yeah, was a single speed system. Yeah, and because of that, it was a big problem. And I don't know what to say about that really, because a lot of people complained that the SNK Neo Geo CD, this was like the fat system, the very thick one, like top loading. Yeah, there was like this kind of dots on there, and you have to press on it, and it used to come on the top. That was single speed. When the loading times, there was this guy I could tell you about, then it used to take ages, a very long time. It used to take a very, very long time to load, very, very long time, and that it was really, really slow. Because with CDs, right, you have you have to keep on, when you've been selecting the characters, they have to keep on loading. That's the bad thing about it. But the thing with is that we know that CDs do that, but this system was really, very slow. It was only a single speed, and it didn't succeed because of that as well. Because a lot of people don't like systems which are really, really slow. So then after that, they're going to reach a SNK Neo Geo CD-Z with a twin speed. What? A Neo Geo CD-Z? It was far too late. People didn't want it anymore. They were sick and tired of it. What this company was doing, no one was interested. Even the twin speed system came out, nobody went towards that side. It was totally ignored. They didn't want to buy the system anymore. Even the CDs were cheap and all that. The idea didn't work because I think every company should understand they need to get the starting point right. If you don't get that right, you're gonna keep on releasing systems. It's not gonna work. It's gonna keep on failing. That was the same thing with Sega. Sega released the Mega Drive first. It was successful. Then they go and release a Sega Mega Drive 32X. People don't like that because it's an add-on. Then SNK Neo Geo CD said it was about the drive. It was too slow, but the CD said was better. But after that, people didn't want to bother with it. And Mega Drive 32X was an add-on. People don't like add-ons. Failure. Then Sega Gone is the Sega Mega CD, another add-on. It failed again. People don't want add-on on the set. So that's why. People didn't give them a chance. They didn't look at the games and stuff like that. Because I do say the Sega Mega Drive 32X, Sega Mega CD games were better than Sega Mega Drive. They had far better graphics. They were superior systems. It was just ignored because of the just add-on. Crazy people out there. I have to say that. Okay, so this is all the story behind the legendary company of SNK, Neo Geo AS, Neo Geo CD, Neo Geo Z. Terrible stuff, really. I think it shouldn't be like that, really. Because if there is SNK Neo Geo CD Z, why did people ignore it? Because the time was coming towards next technology. Yeah. Now people are complaining the price tags. But was the Sega Saturn and Sony PlayStation good prices? If they weren't, too expensive when they came out. So why are people complaining, saying it was the price tags on these systems? Why would you say that? If I'm not wrong, Sega Saturn, Sony PlayStation was over £300. Why are people making all this crap up? Now aren't you confused? Even if you got a system like SNK Neo Geo CD-Z, which is priced at probably £299, Why is it so expensive? I don't understand. It's crazy. It's really, really crazy. I don't understand. That is completely wrong. Now, isn't that frustrating you? The price tag is. Don't worry, we're going to get into SNK Neo Geo 3 yet. Don't worry. We need to clear this first because we need to clear the history. This is very not good. It's not good at all. These systems were expensive as well. When they were released on the market, do you remember? They were like over £300. They weren't cheap. Just SNK Neo City releases the third console. It releases really late and it gets ignored. Why? Because still the price wasn't low. Yeah? The one thing about SNK Neo City Z was the price was still high. We get a twin speed out of it. No. The speeds were fast. It was fast. Yeah. SNK Neo City Z was faster system. It was a much, much better system. It had really, really good. By the way, SNK systems are 32-bit system, faithful to the arcade cabinets. Same hardware like the arcade cabinet. Now let's go further. Why why were the customers making all this crap up about price tags? When Sega Saturn, Sony PlayStation were expensive as well. Alright, the hardware is a bit more advanced. You can't compare a 1995 system to a 1990 system in terms of hardware. Yeah? But the thing is, I think a lot of the games that uh, the SNK home consoles had, they were better than Sega Saturn and Sony PlayStation. They were better games. Trust me, they're better. Even they were in 2D hardware technology, these games were better. They were epic, they were experienced, they were extraordinary, man. These SNK games were a lot better. I don't think, games like Street Fighter Alpha or Street Fighter EX, Turbo number 1 and 2, Bushido Blade, whatever they are, Virtua Fighter, Tekkens, Fighting Vipers, they're not good as the SNK games, man. They're not good as them. It doesn't matter what they are. It doesn't matter they're 2D or 3D. It doesn't matter. The way they play, the way the entertainment is, the SNK games are always going to be better, okay? They're always better games. If you think about games like Art of Fighting, King of Fighters, Fatal Fury, Samurai Showdown, there's so many great epic games, man. The experience, man. I mean, the way Art of Fighting 2 was like a motion capture game was incredible. Okay, Art of Fighting 3 didn't move the same way, but it was still pretty good. And Samurai Showdown was really good because like Samurai Showdown 1 and 2 we got. Then we had 3 with larger characters. The graphics look extraordinary in it. Then we had 4. Then 5 was a really good game where we had the evil Hammer in it. Really, really epic stuff. Really, really good stuff. And even we had a bit of expensive one game one day. It was based on cartridge. We had a SBC Chaos. Even we had shooters like Metal Slug, Polestar, Blazing Star. There's so much. There's so much stuff on there, man. Last Resort, 8-Man, and so on. These games are epic, man. I mean, these kind of games are better than your Sega and your Sony systems, man. They're better games than them. Trust me. Right. So there you go. It's quite unusual stuff what was going on. I don't really think SNK Neo Geo Series Z should have been ignored. It should have bought by the public. It should have bought by them, and it should have challenged systems like in that same era because we couldn't go into the Sega Saturn PlayStation because they were going to release late, weren't they? Yeah, so we couldn't go into that era anyway so quickly. So SNK Neo Geo Series Z wasn't afraid. It should challenge Sega Mega Drive, Super Nintendo, Panzer Trio, and Atari Jaguar. Why didn't people buy it? I think it's rather stupid. It was really, really silly. Anyway, so now we're going to go back into SNK Neo Geo 3. Ho-ho! Here we go, guys. Okay, before we go into the SNK Neo Geo 3, we're going to be pumping some music that we guys need, yeah? So here we go. gonna do this for a while. Woo! Yeah! Sega Street Race 3優作賞よ。Yeah, yeah, come on! Come on, 優作賞よ。Come on, come on! Woo! Okay, yeah. Nice. Now, in my previous video, I was mentioning to you about SNK Neo Geo 3. I will give you the, if you haven't seen that video, some people might have actually seen it. The SNK Neo Geo 3, right, it will be the latest home console released by SNK. Whoa, okay, we all know that. Now, the problem is that this system should have been released, as I told you previously, in the year 2021, which it didn't come because all the other stuff is happening outside. And they couldn't get all the components ready for the system, and that's why it didn't release. So they had big problems. But now, if we look at the year 2022, things are shaping up to be better. I know there's not a lot of information because SNK is busy, right, making Samurai Showdown DLC content, because they were also very busy because we had a delayed game called King of Fighters 15, and they were working on that to release on quite different formats. I mean, like including the PC Steam. So if you got it, if you guys already own a PC, because I'm a big fan of PC as well. King of Fighters 15 is on the PC now, yeah? So you can go and get it. They were really busy on making that, so they didn't have much time even. So that's why there's not much information coming out. But now they will get all the components, what they need for the SNK Neo Geo 3. They will pull it in internally into this chassis. We haven't actually seen the even the prototype yet. We haven't even seen the case of the SNK Neo Geo 3 yet, which is not exciting news, I would say. But the thing is, we need to see what can be done. Now, the other thing is that the SNK needs to get everything right when they launch this system, because you can't just go and release a system with just, bring it to the public. Oh, here we go. And that's it. No, it doesn't work like that. And they need to release a system and bring it very carefully, because when you release a system, you need to have a lot of good launch titles. If you haven't got launch titles, you're not gonna able to succeed in the market. Now, the other question was that this is really important, right? Some articles were saying that the SNK Neo Geo 3 is not powerful as a Sony PlayStation 5 and Microsoft Xbox Series X. Does that matter? Does it need to be powerful? If we look at the past histories of games consoles, least games consoles can easily defeat powerful systems. Now, if we look the recent systems we got, Nintendo Switch, Sony PlayStation 5, and Microsoft Xbox Series X. Now, if power was that great, wouldn't you say these articles are kind of silly? They think they can't compete against them. I would say that's very, very silly. I mean, how are these people writing these articles? I mean, are they even serious? To SNK to succeed? It doesn't seem they are. If we look at Nintendo Switch, Sony PlayStation 5, and Microsoft Xbox Series X, the least system is the Nintendo Switch. Nintendo Switch hardware is nowhere near as them two systems. We know that. They aren't. It isn't. And that system is blowing them away. Isn't that funny? I know what you guys are probably thinking. It's a hybrid system. So what? Just is a handheld tabletop TV experience, and it's winning because of that. It's not only because of that. If you just think, if we just download them three things and there's no handheld games on it, you think someone will buy it? Because people can see there's something on there. That's why they buy them. Now, there's there's three modes in there. I agree. That's different. That's different. Okay, that's the person's own preference choice, what they want to use it for. Yeah, that is important. Of course, it's important. They use the whole technology like a mobile device. Yeah, we know that. Then they went for tabletop and TV. They included that as well in the system. But the thing was that if we just had that, the hardly were not good games. You think the system was sold? Low hardware, quality games. What made the Nintendo Switch, Sony PS5, Xbox Series X struggle? They're struggling. They can't compare with them. They can't compete with their company, man. It's just impossible. They got so many big titles on the sleeve. They got more stuff to come out. I mean, if I mention to you, um, in my opinion, right, one of the greatest system when it comes to gaming, in my opinion, in 2D and 3D gaming, right, it has to be the Nintendo GameCube, man. Definitely. Even the Nintendo Switch is even more successful than two consoles. But the Nintendo Switch doesn't own the best games. Even if you buy that system, you probably will end up putting that away. You probably will. Because even if you look at even Nintendo exclusives, there's not that many on there, man. It doesn't own the best Nintendo exclusives either. No, it doesn't. There's very few and very limited on there. Nintendo GameCube has by far the most majority Nintendo game exclusives. Yeah? It owns the best. And that's why most majority people wouldn't buy they wouldn't buy the original Nintendo GameCube system. They go for the Panasonic Q Games console. Why? You get more out of it, don't you? Because you'll get Panasonic multimedia and features out of it, and then the other side, you will get one of the most amazing game console on the planet, Nintendo GameCube out of it. Can you see how it works? You get two sides, Panasonic and Nintendo. Both sides are very, very strong. You gotta imagine if there's one Panasonic Q advertised for 500 or 1,000 pound, it's gonna bloody sell so quickly, isn't it? It's just gonna sell really quickly. And that's why I have to say about that. I mean, before that we do that, let's pump some music. Here we go! Woo! Alright guys, come on! Woo! Alright, here we go! Wow, yeah! You look sure, yo! Woo! Come on, let's go! Woo! Woo! Yeah! Okay, there you have it. Absolutely amazing. So there you go. I mean, even these systems can win. I mean, that's how it works. I mean, now you understand how. I think the SNK Neo Geo 3 can compete against Sony PS5 and Xbox Series X. If they release good stuff with it, like if they release the console, it's got a good design, if it's got multimedia features, I'm sure this system should be up to Blu-ray. Yeah, if SNK makes that mistake, you know what? Then you know what? That's their own fault. They need to have a system which is multimedia. The drive should be multimedia from a CD-ROM. It should be all the way up to Blu-ray. Yeah, and it can have USB ports, controller ports, a lot of ports at the back. They need to get all this stuff right first. The ports at the front, ports at the back. You should have a Blu-ray drive in there so people can watch their DVD and Blu-ray movies. I mean, they need to release some good accessories, uh, release their game controllers, professional controllers, release some arcade sticks and stuff like that. If they are going to put DVD and Blu-ray in it for people to enjoy movies, then they should release a SNK remote control. That'd be really, really cool. So there you have it. That's what I have to say about SNK Neo Geo 3. I think if anybody is looking for a really good games console, if you're looking for a really good one, go for the Panasonic Q games console. Don't go for machines like Nintendo Switch or Sony PS5 and Microsoft Xbox Series X. They're lacking in games. Trust me, they don't have that much good games on them. You'll buy them, you think it's the latest technology. But the problem is then you're not gonna like it either. And that's gonna be a big problem. So I mean I advise you to buy a Panasonic Q because like Panasonic Q will give you a lot of features and multimedia stuff on there. And as I said, Nintendo GameCube owns one of the best Nintendo game exclusives. Not only that, it also has very good third-party games on there. Some of these Nintendo GameCube exclusives and third-party games are only available on the Nintendo GameCube. So the Panasonic Q games console is a very versatile system. And there you go. I hope you guys enjoyed my broadcast today on YouTube today. I mean, on the SNK Neo Geo 3, what you can expect from it and all that. Yeah, there's no awful lot of information yet on the system. I will be bringing out more information on the system as it's going along. So there you have it. Give your likes, comment, subscribe. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.